Technique number 5 for Kenpo Karate for Christ, the Orange Belt curriculum, is breaking the sword. Breaking the sword is one of the Tracy's techniques. Again, you won't find it in the American Kenpo system, but again, good principles to start with. It's going to show a lot of principles and types of movement that show up all over the place in the Parker techniques as well. So we're going back to the handhold again also. So it's the whole technique, and again we're at our handhold position. We talked about last time how the handhold is an opportunity also to look at from different angles, how you can vector the body that way and kind of utilize that as a study. Well, in this case, with Gift of Destruction, we were coming in from the left, from outside at the left side, kind of this left vector moving in. This time we'll be coming almost from underneath, lifting their arm up, changing that vector, and attacking the elbow from a different angle this time. It is another attack to the elbow, and with a different tool. So for breaking the sword here, they've got your hand here. It was handshake. Again, we assume that in this case, the modern application being you've been having an argument with somebody, and you don't really trust, but they pretend like they're forgiving you for the argument, and everything's going to be fine. And as soon as you go to shake their hand, they try and throw a sucker punch with the other hand. All right, so left hand's coming at your face here as they try to trick you and throw that punch. But you didn't trust them, you were sensitive to that, so as soon as they go to move, you respond. So in this case, I'm going to reinforce my grip with the other hand. Last time we came to the elbow, this time we're coming from the other side to grab hold of their hands so that both my hands are grabbing hold of my opponents. And we're going to advance into them, but the way we're going to advance into them this time is as we spin. And the spin's going to happen with the right foot's going to turn, bringing you all the way around that way. Now, it's never a great idea to turn your back on your opponent, which is essentially what this technique is introducing here. So we want to be sure we've got control of the situation in such a way that it's safe to turn your back. And the way we're going to do that is as we've grabbed hold of their hand, we're lifting that arm up, and you're pulling a little bit with this turn also, using your whole body to do it. And we're going to lift that arm up, bringing it down, bringing the right arm down onto your left shoulder here. And that, of course, is where the technique gets its name, breaking the sword, because the philosophy is you're going to damage the elbow, even break the elbow, certainly hyperextend the elbow. When I teach this, because this is Kenpo Karate for Christ, even somebody throwing a sucker punch, I don't know if that merits the need to destroy their elbow. So in my mind, what we're trying to do here is not to destroy the elbow, not to break the elbow, but as you pull down on their arm and their elbow's up on your shoulder, we're using the shoulder this time as a lever, and it will cause them to come up on their toes while it locks their arms straight. And as they come up on their toes, they don't have much foundation to do much. Not balanced very well. There's no foundation to attack from here, and we want to utilize that position of weakness instead. So I'm capitalizing instead on changing his posture in such a way that I'm lifting it up, using my shoulder as a lever, that way, a strong lever, to be able to lift up. And if you had to, if you're changing the attack to be something like a weapon attack, if it was a knife or something like that, then yeah, I wouldn't mess around with that. I'd break their arm. But in this case, if it's just a handshake and they're going to punch you with the left, then I'm going to re-grab here, and I'm turning, and as I'm turning, I'm swinging that right foot around here. I'm almost advancing with the right foot, but with the spin, lifting their right arm up, I bring it down on my left shoulder. There, boom, lifting them up. And as that turn continues, I'm going to hold their arm with my left hand. Don't let go. But I am going to release with the right. And when I do, I'm going to introduce something you're going to see a lot of, this spinning elbow. As we go to chamber, boom, that's hitting right to the ribs here. If you lock their arms straight, they're exposed right here, and they're going to eat that elbow strike right into the ribs. And then from here, I'm going to come back, elbowing to the other side, switching my hands. And as I come back, I'm going to elbow, boom, again, we're hitting into center mass, to the middle of the body with that outward left elbow. So it goes right elbow with the chamber, left elbow with the chamber, right? Scraping right along your ribs. as you elbow. Now, what I'm doing with the right hand in this case is I pull down, left hand's still holding the arm here. When I go to elbow with the right hand's going to knock that arm away. Don't need it anymore. Just bump it out of the way. Same time they're getting hit in the center mass with your left elbow. That's breaking the sword. We lift it up, we bring that arm down onto your shoulder, using that as a lever, and just spinning elbow right and left. One more time. Grab with both hands, lift it up, we pull it down, turn elbow with the right, spin elbow with the left, and that's breaking the sword.